If you're driving in a Porsche when you're 40 or 50, nobody cares about that. And your experience will be totally different than if you do it, now. And arguably, since I made my wealth early, I recognized everybody gets wealthy. Everybody becomes a millionaire by the time they're 60, 70, right? Like, it's very simple. You work 30 years for 30K. That gets you, $1 million? So the advantage that you have is your time. People want that money now in order to experience it and use it. And I don't think it would, this is something you're going to realize when it's too late, maybe. But you're going to, say, lose the next 5-10 years of your life. And then you're going to say, okay, I made another $1 million. What happened? You made 5 million, but then you lost 4 million in the market crash. So, or you may have made some money, you lost a bunch in the market crash, and then you got divorced or whatever, right? Like somebody sues you, and then you break your leg. And what happened, right? That was it. Maybe you get cancer. So people often say, you have to enjoy your journey. The destination is going to be trash. Like, in many ways, life is a car crash in slow motion. The ending, we all die. Right? We all just die. So in my opinion, you create the lifestyle that you want, and you need to live that. And the lifestyle needs to use money, right? Because many people, I think they go through life, they make money, and they want to live the FIRE dream, right? Financial independence dream, where they're essentially just burning very little amounts of their money, and they're just living at home, watching TV, and they take 2 vacation trips a year. This is something that you're born with, right? Like, when you were a kid, your parents already gave you that life, right? Like, just go live with your parents if that's what you want. You can play your video games, you don't have to work, and your parents can take you on a vacation twice a year or something like that, right? Like, it's extremely boring, I would say, this financial independence route. Fat FIRE is one where you're able to live a little bit more. But these people still end up with multiple millions, right, in their bank account when they die. And they never truly find a use for that money. And it's kind of saddening and extremely boring, especially now that we have cryptocurrency, where you just say, if you get money, just put it into this digital dashboard, right? That's what we're all doing. Make money, put it into a digital dashboard, number go up. That's it. Keep doing that, and then 10 years pass, 20 years pass. So in my opinion, saving money and investing money is like living on autopilot. It is the most boring and lazy path. And if you're able to actually figure out how do you deploy cash, right? Spending money is difficult. It's extremely difficult to spend money and deploy it into a way that achieves enjoyment for you. You can go buy a Rolex. I don't know if that gives you much joy, especially, right? Like, you buy it, you put it in a cabinet, in a drawer somewhere, and you say, okay, this is a nice investment. And you don't really look at it so much. I guess you two own Rolexes.
See, here's the thing, though. For me, it's like, I think a lot of people enjoy what they do, and they would be doing it regardless. So for me, it's like, I don't know right now. I would enjoy vacations like that. Like, to me, that just sounds, I'd rather just, what sounds great to me is a free schedule over the next week, get to work.
If you could pause time right now, though, and there was no expectation of you posting, the algorithm would stop.
Yeah.
How would you spend that time?
Gosh, I don't know. I'd probably want to get ahead. I mean, but yeah, that would make me feel good.
I have family friends who say they're doing extremely well. I mean, we all have friends like this. They're doing extremely well, and they're still working in their 60s or 70s, and they say, oh, I love my job. I would never quit because I wouldn't know what I would do with my time. It's extremely lazy, isn't it? Right? Like, these people are on autopilot. They follow the path laid out to them by society to do their 9 to 5 and to not think further than that, when there's a whole world waiting for them. And you have to actually, it takes extremely amount, a lot of time and effort to figure out what you want to do. Like what I think about is an itinerary. Like when you take a vacation trip, you need to spend maybe 2 weeks planning the itinerary. You need to actually sit down and put in time and effort and research this. Like, what are you going to do? If you don't have an itinerary and you never put in the time and effort to think about what you want to do, then you just say, well, I wouldn't know what I would do. This is too hard. I guess I'm just going to keep working because I can make $5 an hour if I do this. You're going to reach a point in your life, you may have already reached it, where your investments, the returns on your investments will outpace any active income that you as an individual is able to generate. Right? Like, and at that point, why do you work? You can increase your, like, let's say
fun. I enjoy it. Like, I don't know. I love doing like this is kind of work, but like I would be doing this regardless. And I've even thought like, what would I do if I took, a full week off? Work. Like I would be loading up podcasts. I would do more podcast guests. I'd do more reactions on the second channel. I would just keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
Probably for you, this is absolutely the position you should be in. Let's say you're 10 years older.
I know it's going to change.
Let's say you're 10 years older now. Is your answer still the same?
Probably not. But
right?
But I would have the options to do at that time, or it could be in a month. I mean, realistically, it'll probably be 2 to 5 years. That's what, kind of, and at that point I could reevaluate the schedule and kind of maybe figure out something different. But I see probably 2 to 5 years. Like, I love this. And maybe if it's longer, it's longer. If it's less, I've always just done like what I felt in my gut. It's just like, this is what I want to do. I'm just going to do that. And that's the right choice. It's always been the right choice.
I have a question for you, Graham.
Yeah.
If you knew you were going to be gone 1 week from now, what would you do?
If I were going to be gone?
Like, yeah, I don't want to say it because of the YouTube algorithm.
I would be unalived.
Yes, unalived in 1 week. What would you do?
Oh, gosh. I would probably go scuba diving in Fiji with Macy, with everybody. I would take everybody I could. And
Me too?
Yeah, and you too. I would probably take 30 people to Fiji to go scuba diving, and then I'd find a way to divide up my money so that it goes to the right people and places.
You're such a great guy,
Jack.
Graham.
Who is that? I'm not gonna.
Yeah, why are you assuming?
Hey, what? I didn't say anything.
You're
a good guy.
It goes to Ramsey and Bailey.
Oh, okay.
The Ramsey and Bailey Foundation. They're gonna have this huge house in Bel Air.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so nice.
Let's say you make a video, you get no views, and you get no money. Do you still make videos?
Certainly not.
But there's
because there's two things that feed you.
Yes.
Number one is your own ego, right? By getting the views, you feel self-important, right? Like, hey guys, everybody's watching me. The second thing is maybe money. The money is going to get to a point where, and you may already be at this, where it's money that like for me, I'm gonna die with money in the bank account. Right? There's gonna be money in the bank account when I die, even if I try to spend it. Many people are going to get to that point. You're probably at that point. So the money is just kind of like, you can make it. You're never gonna touch it in your entire life, and quite frankly, your investments may outpace your active income by 10 to 1. I mean, you may get to a point. Your own narcissism or ego is something that you don't necessarily like. If you escape out of it and get out of the status game, anyways, like
but I think it's less about myself and more about like what you provide to somebody else. And for me, it's the fulfillment and purpose that I get when I see someone come up and say, hey, it's because of you that I bought a house. It's because of you that I got my first credit card and I did this, and now I'm financially secure. And like, that's the sort of stuff for me that really pushes me. And it helps that money is a byproduct of that. And like, obviously that's a component of it. I enjoy that. And that just, as a result, gives me more content to make. Yeah, but even something like this, it's like, I would say there's a very small portion of like ego. And I would say the bigger portion is that whoever's watching this is able to get a different perspective that they wouldn't have